Now, joining us to discuss about the development is a veteran sports journalist and programs manager, Wazobia FM Port Harcourt. China Cheru joins us this morning. Good morning to you and welcome to In the Game.
Good morning, Favor. Happy to be on your show.
All right, Nigeria football was thrown into confusion when Finidi George resigned as coach of the Super Eagles despite the slow start for him. I'd like to ask you, what do you make of this reaction of this, and was it the right thing for him to do at this time?
Only he knows what's right for him to do. We can only say what we think is right to do, right? We are not wearing the shoes he's wearing. We've not faced what he has faced. So it's left for him to decide what's right for him. My opinion is this. If you feel disrespected where you are, walk away. But some people think that, some people are asking, did he sign a contract? The NFF announced a one-year contract. Did he sign a contract? Did he have a one-year contract? Then you don't walk away from your contract. Allow yourself to be sacked. So there are different opinions. But again, he is Finidi George. He knows what's going on. We can't know everything. We only know what we are told, either by him or from our sources. So if he felt that that was the best thing to do to resign, then it's left for him. I think he was set up to fail, right? He walked into a booby trap and it blew him up in pieces.
Okay, I'd also like to go in this angle. Now, according to the NFF, a foreign technical advisor will be appointed, which means he would have to work. He would have to work on that. But of course, we know that he will not anymore because, of course, he has resigned. Now, looking at all these things, we've heard reports, some of them not verified, about how he was not told that a foreign advisor will be appointed until he saw it in the official communication from the Nigerian Football Federation. Now, do you think this is the right step to take from the NFF angle? Going in that direction, not bringing the coach in the know or trying to, give him that respect to let him know what plans they have taken towards the development of Nigerian football and ensuring Nigeria qualify for the World Cup?
Yeah, actually, when we say Finidi saw it, right, I remember seeing a short video of him coming out of a meeting with the NFF. And that was on Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm not on Wednesday last week. Then I saw Ademola Olajure's press statement, which states what he just stated now, that the NFF has resolved to get a foreign technical advisor. So I chatted him up and I'm saying, I just heard the news. And his response was, what news? He had no idea there was any such thing going on. So I was the one that sent him that press statement to show him what the news was. And he said nobody told him anything about it. He just left the meeting with the NFF and he's not even aware of that, but he was going to wait to hear from the president. In his own words, I'll take what you said as a rumor until I hear from the NFF president. So by the time he waited for 2 days and he had not heard from the NFF president, look, listen, if I have a job with you and I'm going to tamper with my position in that place, you owe me that respect to tell me. Now, if I hold a meeting with you for 2 hours, even if for just 30 minutes, you don't tell me anything, then you go out to the public to say this is what you decided without me knowing, it's marks of disrespect, right? So, Finidi does not own the national team. Coaches have been there before him, and he was going to be sacked one day, right, depending on his result. But I think he just needed some clarity from the federation. And if 2 days after you tell the whole world that you're going to get a foreign technical advisor, the man who is currently the head coach is not aware officially from you, it shows a lot of disrespect, too. So probably he felt the way out was to walk out of the job, which he did by tendering his resignation, right? But for me, for you, for the rest of us, we're going to analyze it in different ways. For him, that was the way out. And he is right, really, he is.
All right, I think Victor Modo would have a question for you. Victor Modo, you have a question?
Okay, China, my main question is this. You understand? Like the communication from the NFF, just to confirm, you said that 2 days after it was announced via mail, Olajure's press release, that they are going to be employing a technical advisor. Finidi was not contacted at all. Not that the mail came and it didn't get to him. Like there was no attempt to reach Finidi George at all in 2 days after the press release was sent out?
Now I'm saying, at the time the press release was sent out, that they are going to get a foreign technical advisor, the coach that just ended it, because in his own words, he said, I just arrived Port Harcourt from Abuja, a meeting with them, and nobody told me this. So he doubted me, basically. Until I sent him Ademola Olajure's press statement, and he said, I'm not aware of this. Then I asked him, I said, what's your next action? And I'm going to be clear on this. What's your next action? Are you going to wait to be sacked? Are you going to resign? Or are you going to stay to assist the foreign technical advisor? Those are my words to him. His response was, I'll take this as a rumor until I hear from the NFL president. That was the day the press statement came out. Now, and he is saying that 2 days after, there's no word from the NFL president or anybody or his employers. Listen, Keshi wouldn't take this. Amokachi wouldn't take this. Amonike wouldn't take this. Olise will not take this. No coach will take this. Why should he take it? It's as simple as that. Communication is key.
Okay, I know for sure that you did say that the job was set up for him to fail in the sense that he was appointed in a difficult time. Now for Finidi George, we know of course he has played at the highest level. He has coached the club side in Nigeria, won the title with them. I mean, did he look at this situation to have said this job is not a job I will take at this time? I know the Super Eagles job is tempting, but looking at the circumstances, especially with a federation that has not been consistent with the indigenous coach in the past, shouldn't he have just thought about it before taking this job? And secondly, do you think the NFF should have given him more time instead of taking this action?
About more time, listen, you can't blame the NFF, really, you can't. Listen, we are 4 games into World Cup qualifiers from what should have been a weak group. And we have no win from 4 matches. There's so much pressure from the ministry, from the presidency, from the fans, from the media. So the NFF had a knee-jerk reaction. And really, you can't blame them. For Finidi, do you take a job where the first 2 games have ended in draw? Now, we all know this. As a footballer, you have 2 dreams in life. Especially a footballer who plays in Africa, in Asia, or in South America. One of them is to play in Europe. 2, to play for the national team and play at the World Cup, a footballer. For a coach, you have a dream in life. To coach your club to the highest level and maybe coach your national team. So if that dream came true for him, many would not turn it down. Look at all the top players from Africa who are coaching. They want to coach the national team. So maybe he was too excited about the fact that he was going to have a chance to coach the national team. Let's face it, he doesn't have a large coaching resume. Yes, he has coached some youth teams in Spain. He has coached Eyimba for just 2 seasons. He has won the league with Eyimba. Is that enough to coach the national team? I mean, listen, your guess is as good as mine. But he got the chance and he accepted it. You're not going to blame him for accepting a job that he applied for, right? But it doesn't change the fact that your employers need to give you a level playing field. Now, we say 4 games and no win. Let's realize that 2 of those games are not his games. But does that mean we wait for a 5th game and a loss, or wait for a 6th game and a loss? Now you see where the NFF was. Now, if you had asked me, I would have said the World Cup qualifiers resume next year. And between now and then, we are going to have 6 AFCON qualifiers, 2 in September, 2 in October, 2 in November, for the World Cup qualifiers resume. By November, we would have known if we have a national team or not. Left for me. And he has 4 months to decide what he wants with the team. But again, it's a knee-jerk reaction. Nigerians are emotional. We read social media. We get pressured by news reports, by radio callers, by all of this, and we take action. I think the NFF, they reacted too soon, but I don't know the pressure they are under. They were in a meeting with the minister, probably the meeting with the presidency, probably, I don't know. So they are under so much pressure and they reacted. Did they react too soon? That's what I think. That's what I think. But again, it's done. We must, clean the mess we have gotten ourselves into.
All right, let me come to Modo, Victor Modo. It seems the NFF, with what we have seen, has heaped all the blames on the team's current precarious situation on Finidi. But the question is, should Finidi take all the blame with what is happening at the moment? Okay, so first of all, personal opinions, I think that the move by the NFF is a serious knee-jerk reaction. I personally believe that Finidi George should have gotten at least the September International to try to turn it around, because, I mean, he walked into a burning lake of fire, basically, taking the job of the Super Eagles. In the first place, this job should have been, a coach should have been appointed immediately after the AFCON, max a couple of weeks, but the NFF waited until the time when it was a very close window. So he walked into fire, and from where he's sitting, he tried to make the best
of his current obsession that he found himself. Now, as much as we are going to say the buck stops at the table of the coach, we also have to look at ourselves. I'm talking to the players now. We have to look at ourselves as players and ask, did we do enough? Let me explain. I was back of the post in the game against Benin Republic. We just scored an amazing goal scored by Rafael Onyedika. And then next thing, we expect that Benin is going to up the pressure a bit, but we took 2 to 3 steps back. Look at the first goal that we considered. You had Ndidi, you had Semi Ajayi almost in a straight line, and then you had Calvin Bassey at the back of all of them. I'll assume that Calvin Bassey asks all of them to leave the ball for him. He controls the ball into the path of a striker, and then that's the goal. Look at the second goal that we that we considered. It was a corner kick, and basically from the moment it got into the box, it was at a height that any defender can clear it. It beat our man at the near post, beat everybody inside the box 6, and came all the way past the point of the goalkeeper and came to a Benin Republic striker unmarked, totally unmarked in the box. So as much as we're going to say the box stops at the table of the coach, or the coach should have played this player, should have done this sub, should have done it differently, the professionals have to look at themselves and ask themselves, did we do enough in these games? Because quite frankly, we have no business considering the goal we considered for the first game for the first goal, and there's no reason why a corner kick will beat all of your men from the first post all the way past the middle of the box 6 and get to an unmarked Benin Republic striker in the box. It falls on Finidi's table. Everything falls on him, yes, but the players have to have a meeting with themselves and say, we did not turn up. Same thing that happened in the games against Lesotho and Zimbabwe. We went behind in both games, and we needed to go behind before the players were spurred to action. And the moment they got the equalizer, we just kept chasing the game, trying to get the win, and it did not come. The players have to look at themselves at this point and ask, are we doing enough? Beyond who's in the dugout at this moment, we have players that are at the top of the game everywhere in the world. Everywhere. See, everybody in our team is almost a starter in their team, and they are at top places in the world. They have to ask themselves, did we do enough?
All right, Modu, let me come to Okpayemi now. Modu did cite the aspect of players showing commitment in the national team. Do you share the same sentiment?
Yeah, I think I totally agree with him 100%. Someone said some couple of days ago that we have players that are not ambitious enough when it comes to playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria at the world stage, because World Cup is actually the biggest football event in the world, and this is where stars go to showcase themselves. For a team like Nigeria, in a group of Lesotho, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Rwanda, we should not be even struggling. Benin Republic is actually an eyesore. For the quality of players we possess as a national team, everything fall back to Finidi, the taxes and everything. But the ambition in that team is below par. For a team who wants to, sometimes, even if the tactics does not favor you enough, as players that knows what they want to play at the World Cup, they take themselves to the battle and they win it for themselves. They put their name on the line, they put their life on the line on the pitch of play, and we don't see that sweat, we don't see that blood on the field whenever they are playing for us, which is actually another problem. If a technical manager is now coming in, would the NFF give that person the chance to set that team up in a way where discipline is actually at the highest? That's the question we should be asking also.
All right, and now back to China, Cheru. It seems at this time for indigenous coaches, this might just be the end of the road. Do you think that's the end of the road for indigenous coaches in Nigeria after Finidi George resigned?
It doesn't really matter. We know what we want in life, right? We really know what we want in life. Anything foreign is good. Let's go for a foreign coach. Maybe that's the solution to our problems. Because we would never trust any Nigerian coach. We will never support any Nigerian coach. We'll always second-guess Nigerian coaches. Even if they win matches by 5 goals to nothing, every single game, we'll still say they won by luck. So it's not an argument. It's not even a topic for discussion. Let's go for a foreign coach. Maybe that will be the solution to all our problems. But again, we know what the NFF is like with appointing coaches. Look how long it took the NFF to get a coach after Raw left, before they got Pesero. Look how long it took them to get the coach after Pesero left, before Finidi came. Now we have just 3 months to our next competitive game. Let's see how long it's going to take them to get a foreign coach, because it has to be foreign or nothing. Now, whether a Nigerian coach will get the job anytime soon, a Nigerian coach will get the job eventually. It always happens. It's a cycle that always happens. But let's try the foreign coaches once again and let them take us to glory land. Then let's see what happens after that. But for Nigerian coaches, I think they should just sit this out. They should get other jobs. They should go and get jobs somewhere else. In Sri Lanka, in Lesotho, in Rwanda. I mean, look at what Keshi did. He was sacked with Amodu,
Yes.
right, at the under-20s. He moved and qualified Togo for the World Cup. Sacked at Togo. He went to Mali, qualified there for the AFCON. By the time he came back to Nigeria, he came back a hero, then won the AFCON for us and took Nigeria to the second round of the World Cup. That's what coaches should do. If your country rejects you, go out there and show yourself. So I don't expect Finidi to stay at home and be lobbying for jobs that some other people do. A coach should not be lobbying for jobs. A coach should be coaching. So that time you used to lobby for jobs and open WhatsApp groups and get influencers to lobby for you. Get busy coaching. So Finidi has resigned. Let him coach. Doesn't matter where he coaches. In Sri Lanka, in Rwanda, in Lesotho, in the Fiji Islands. Let him be busy coaching. And one day work will speak for themselves. But for Nigerian coaches, get busy. No one will appoint you these days. We are going to go foreign for a while. When we are done with the foreign coaches, we are going to come back to a Nigerian coach and see if it's going to work for us. So for now, you should see this one out. We are not going for a Nigerian coach.
All right, let's move away now from the Finidi's resignation to a more trendy issue at the moment. Now, Nigerian Napoli striker Victor Osimhen has berated the now resigned coach of Nigerian football team, Super Eagles Finidi George, for accusing or allegedly accusing him of lack of commitment, deliberately refusing to play the World Cup qualifier match and being above discipline. Now, Finidi, who has now resigned as the head coach of the Super Eagles, also reportedly said that he could not beg Osimhen to play for the national team after the player withdrew from their last 2026 World Cup qualifiers due to injury. Responding to Finidi, Osimhen, visibly infuriated in an Instagram live video, lambasted Finidi, saying he had lost respect for the former Eimba coach. Now, Osimhen in the live video on Saturday opened up on the circumstances that led to his withdrawal from the Super Eagles' last two World Cup qualifiers. He said that Finidi was adequately bereaved by him and his doctor. Let's take a look at the outburst by Victor Osimhen.
I get injury. The last minute, I get injury. You understand? I get injury for my ankle. And I call, and immediately I go Germany. I go see my pikin. You understand? So I go do MRI, in which I get the video, I get the picture of everything. Because I know, say, things like this go happen. I am not dumb. You understand? I know, say, things like this go stop. I know for sure. You get. Immediately I do the MRI. The next day, the doctor called me. I go in office, and then they talk to me. So I call Finidi. Immediately, I call Finidi. You understand? I called Finidi immediately. He was on the phone. I told one of my guy, make himself do video as the doctor and me, they speak to Finidi. I get the video in which I go post them for my story now when I finish this live. Do you understand? I know they address nothing. I let anyone believe what they won't believe about me. I know they address anything. You understand? I know they address anything. Everybody knows, say, if I play, whether na club side, whether na for Nigeria, I dey play my heart out. I don't care what anybody go talk. I do what I want to do. I just let everything go. You understand? But I no go allow that disrespect.
Well, I'm sure that both China, Victor Modo, and Lawal has seen the video and, of course, what he said. I would like to get the reaction, first of all, from China, Acheru. When you saw that video, what went through your mind? What were your thoughts?
I shook my head. Listen, I just watched again a rich young boy who lacked home training, very uncultured. No jokes. No jokes. Look at who he's talking about his coach. I called Finidi. Favor. I'd rather not talk about Osimhen. Maybe NBC will shut you down. I'll do that in private. I'd rather not talk about Osimhen. But if he's really your coach, if you really called him and told him about your injury and your MRI and all of that, how come you didn't also call him to say, Coachy, see what I hear. You talk like this. Do you have to go to social media and do what you did just now? That's the point. Now, let's say Finidi was not your coach. Can you talk to him that way? You're talking about an AFCON winner. You did not want an AFCON. You're talking about a Champions League winner. So I don't know why this generation of people think that at every crisis they have, they go to social media and make some noise. Right? It's simple. Number one, We all know, at least I know, that Finidi never made that statement. So Osimhen went on a rant for what did not happen. And by the time he realizes himself, he's going to look silly to himself. But he went on a rant for what didn't happen. But let's assume Finidi made that statement. Let's, for the sake of argument, okay, you're right, Finidi made that statement. Is that the way to go about it? I see a rich brat, a rich, uncultured person. And that's what he really is. I would like to pass on this.
All right. Let me get a thought from Victor Modo quickly. I mean, Victor Osimhen's saga outburst. What you made of it?
Okay, so personally, the moment I saw the story, first on the platform that made the initial story, first thing that came to my mind is there's no way this statement accredited to Finidi was made by Finidi George, because after the game, I was opportunity to be beside Finidi. We spoke a couple of times back on the trip back to Nigeria at the airport. We still spoke about the game changes and he mentioned and changed that and that he's going to like to make. And at no point at all did he drag on any player, not to talk of Victor. So when the story broke and I looked at the story, I just dismissed it. And then I saw the live where Victor went on the live talking about and it is really sad. Firstly, that journalism that is in as regards to the post now. I mean, a story as big as that, everything is basically hinged on I was told that he said that he said. It is, I mean, it's a very big story, and you don't hinge a story that big on I was told that he said that I said. I mean, I totally agree with China. Osimhen felt aggrieved, yes, but is there a better way to have addressed this? And definitely, it would be a lot easier if he called up Finidi, and because I mean, since they have a good relationship where he called him, I mean, he said on the live that he called him when he got the job. He said on the live that and I called him about the injury concern. He could have still called him up, and even if he wants to para for him and say, bros, how far now? How far? I told you I was this. I'm saying that, and I expect that first thing Finidi George is going to say is that story I did not say it. I just wish this whole episode did not happen. But I'm very, very sure that behind the scenes, away from social media, Osimhen and Finidi, some people will sit down and put this behind them. But we have to be a lot more careful with the jobs, with the work that we do. We don't just drop stuff on fourth party hearsay and make it a massive issue.
All right, Okoyebi, let me come to you now. First of all, yes, Victor Osimhen has done that. Yes, before now, we know that when it comes to players, one thing that is constant with them, especially for a poster boy in the team, is fame. Now, for Victor Osimhen, is the African Footballer of the Year. We also have Cristiano Ronaldo, who has one time also been in the time, of course, world best player. And he has also had times that he had been attacked for not doing well on the field of play. We've not seen such kind of reactions from him. We've also seen in the past where Ojo Judigalo has been dragged by Nigerians. Even families of him have been targeted by Nigerians. Ahmed Musa is one of them. But we've also seen how they've been able to undo it. With this outburst of Victor Osimhen, should his actions be met with punishment by the NFF?
I feel at this point, as the people that we are so big on respect as an African, the African culture, right? He went overboard. There are some lines you should not cross. For the fact that Finidi George is even your coach, he's a legend in this country. He has achieved a whole lot of things. And when we put it in the African setting, when you abuse an elderly person, you get punished for it, regardless of whatever. Even if you are right, they will tell you to even apologize to that older person. So I think at this point he crossed some boundaries. There are some things you shouldn't have done, and that's why you need people around you to put you to the pace of how things are being done, because you can't just come on social media and because things like that will not live, and it's going to affect his own reputation too as a footballer. Most top club managers would want to go away from him because now he wants to move to a new club. Now as a manager, would I not see Victor Osimhen as a problematic human being? Those are the things you have to put into place when you are doing all these things. I think it should be punished by the NFF, regardless of whichever way they want to settle it. That is a no-no. So that will put send a message to any other player. Look at what Sadiq Umar did when he left the camp for the Nations Cup. When everybody were lambasting him, he put a statement out. There are ways to go about it. You don't come outside like an uncouth human being and start making noises. It's not done.
All right. Before I let China Cheru go quickly, do you think he should be punished by the NFF? And secondly, why do our players misbehave in the national team? And when they come to the club side, they seem to be like this very calm gentlemen and women, but the national team, they go haywire?
Because we give them too much respect. Yes, our players deserve respect, no doubt. They do deserve respect. For Victor Osimhen, his commitment cannot be questioned for the national team. We've seen him play for the national team. Now, it's the same country that we had 3 players sent away from the AFCON in 2004 for indiscipline. Celestine Babayaro, Yakubu Aigbeni, and Victor Agali sent home for indiscipline at the AFCON in 2004. The NFF still sent a 3-man committee to go to London to beg them to come back to the national team. It's the same NFF. Nothing has changed now. Nothing has changed. Just the people inside the same group. So Victor Osimhen should be punished. I mean, I'm not going to legislate on what kind of punishment he gets, but he should first apologize to Finidi. On an Instagram live, and to Nigerians too. He's one of our best players. No, you can't forge that. One of our best players, one of our most committed players on the pitch. But this attitude of his will not take him far.
Okay.
Should he be punished? Yes. How should he be punished? Let them decide. I was not elected to the NFF. Let them decide. But what can you do in the interim? Let him tender an apology. It won't hurt him to tender an apology. Because by now you should have known that he made a rant out of nothing, out of what did not happen. Let him be a man, do the right thing. Tender. We love Victor Osimhen, but he must do the right thing.